Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Irish Kaiser, and welcome back. This is episode 10 of our Minecraft Let's Play Poorly series, and today, well, I have one hell of a progress update, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can see, our former little cupboard in the side of the canyon has been stripped bare. We have gone through the vast majority of the mine shaft. And so, in accordance with my previous plan to do something with the skeleton spawner we found right at the end of the last episode, I have made a new base. I am planning to move into this full-time. This should be my home for the majority, or at least a section of my base for the majority of the series, just because of the proximity. Here we just have a section of the cave that I've kind of blocked off from everything else, and right down in here, beyond the weird staircase, right behind this wall, is our skeleton spawner. And we do have it running, as we are close enough. Over here is an unexplored portion of cave. Over there is a portion of the Minecraft, which has already been, the mine shaft, excuse me, that has already been explored. Right behind this wall, again, is the spawner. And here is the newly completed base. We have a wheat farm running, as we have the separated rows of wheat to expedite the growth process. We have a clock. We do desperately need a clock, as there is no way to tell what time of day it is from down here. We have our bed. We have a bunch of chests. We have a little berry bush farm. We have our cobblestone generator, which I kind of made just for a gag. And this is the platform that we hang out on when we want skeletons to spawn and start falling down through the mob trap. It's very simple. You just dig a square 4 out from the block where the spawner is, and you dig three or four below it, and then you place 4 water buckets, one at each corner of the place, and you make a hole in the center with a sign just to ensure nothing, like, I don't think water can flow down it, but I put a sign there just in case. It doesn't hurt. And they'll all fall down this center chute. And I made the drop exactly 21 blocks, because this is not just a farm. This is an XP grinder, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we are now all the way up to level 30. A skeleton XP grinder, skillfully crafted by the Irish Kaiser. This is about as simple as you can make a mob grinder. They're very basic technique here. But as you can see, I have been running it. I've only gotten 1 enchanted bow so far. I've gotten an absolute ton of regular quality bows. I try to keep the higher durability ones over here. And I've gotten plenty of arrows. This is our little tree farm. And what I'm thinking we're going to do today, since I didn't feel like putting all of you through the very lengthy, very frustrating construction process for this base, I would just give you a tour, kind of show you what my methodology was. I wanted to have this because I like to have a cobblestone generator, sue me. I wanted to build my base right on this level particularly. I wanted to have like all my storage and all my crafting and such, and my farms on this level, rather than down there. I had to put the tree farm down there because there just wasn't room to kind of link everything up here. But so I put the tree farm down there, but that I don't really go down there all that frequently. But I wanted to make sure everything, such like all the food farms and all that kind of stuff, was on this level, so that we could maintain a spawn rate in the spawner directly above, and you can hear the water. Which is a little bit of annoying, but in order to be in range of the spawner, to have it functioning, like if I stay down here, nothing will spawn. Like, I have to be up here. I have to climb up the ladder to get things to spawn. But I am planning on making a new strip mine down here. But today, in terms of the actual video that I assume you all are watching if you're still listening, is today we're going to be grabbing just some more stuff from our old base. We're just gonna split this up and grab these couple pieces of gold we had mixing in there. We did find a couple diamonds and that enchanted golden apple and the name tag last episode, so I highly suggest checking that out. That was a very, very productive episode. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead back to our original base today, and I'll cut once we get up to the surface. This is a very disorganized base at the moment. I kind of put it together as fast as I could so I could get this video out. I didn't really want to spend a ton of time making it look nice. I'm not all that skilled in making things look nice. I actually have an affinity for cobblestone, and it seems I forgot to check the time on my clock, so we will have to jet down. I was planning on making a dropper, but I have to go back to the nether and grab some soul sand in order to do that, and then I do also have to get a couple magma blocks to make an elevator. Rather than running up and down this staircase every minute and a half, I have to go up to the surface. So we will jump right back down into our little, we'll just combine those into our little base. What did I need? What did I need? I'm losing my mind here. I apologize. Oh, I just needed to go to bed. Apologies. So, we have our home base coordinates. We have a good portion of the day ahead of us. And, I think we should take a bed. We did have wool, I believe. We did have wool. Apparently we do not. It is a relatively short journey, but it is mostly over water, so we will be taking our faithful spruce boat so we can get there quick enough. And, I mean, it's likely we'll have to sleep there gathering the most valuable materials, but I think we should be okay. The only problem I foresee with this base, being as it is such a low level, is getting cows, getting mobs down there to create an animal farm. I could make a chicken farm, but I do need a cow farm just for the leather, as leather is kind of a commodity and not something. We're just going to destroy these. They're kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere. I planted them by accident. That is the one infinite fault. Oh, holding torches in your offhand is useful when you're mining. Otherwise, it's more a pain than it is anything else. So we'll just grab this. And we have to go to X328 and Z80, negative 82. These are negative 323. So negative... Okay, well, we don't want to get caught in the ice. So we want to go... 323. There's the ocean monument. So I think 323 is this way. And then we want to go to negative 82 on the z-axis. So just gotta keep going. A little bit of a diagonal. Almost 45 degrees actually. Just straight this way. Some squid. The chunk loading in 1.14, I have acknowledged that it isn't very good. In a previous episode I was kind of complaining about it, but I have noticed that other YouTubers have had issues with far better hardware than mine, so it's not, as I wrongfully assumed, something to do with Java updating or anything of that nature. But we'll go around this mountain. We'll go around this. It's gonna keep pushing us out, so we're just going to jump out right here. And we are on the right direction this way. So now basically we just head in this direction. And the good thing about why I was suggesting we make a chicken farm due to our depth rather than a cow farm is just because you can push chickens down a chute and they don't take fall damage, just because they have they do that slow fall kind of thing where they just flap their wings a little and they don't fall. So we have to go, oh, we're going up. We have to go down. We have to go this way. Oh my. Foolish, foolish me. Alright, so it seems we do have to get back in the water. Oh Lord. This is not this is not going entirely according to plan. So, well, now we know where we need to be. I will release you all. I'll cut my recording and I'll bring it back, I suppose, when I reach the base, or at least reach near it. We're going to try and take the most important things when we're there, and we're not going to take like the cobblestone or anything like that. That would be a complete waste. Just a complete waste of time for everybody involved. So we'll refrain from taking 30 trips and taking cobblestone, and we'll dump everything that we have that we don't necessarily want to drag with us. We'll dump that, so we can kind of maintain our inventory space, because we do have to get all the crafting table. I mean the enchantment table. We have to get books. We have to take all the wood we can, just because we don't have a ton of wood at that base. We have the tree farm, but I mean any underground tree farm isn't going to be fast enough while you're still constructing the base. I swear, this chunk loading is absolutely abysmal. I do apologize. I know it's not my fault per se, but my god, is it terrible. And this is going up. Do I have to go this way? No, I have to go this way. Okay. I'm sorry. Alright. But I'm going to cut it here, and I'll bring you all back in a moment. And we're back. It was a relatively short trip, only about 5 minutes from when I stopped recording the first time. So, here we are. We will take a stack of netherrack, a stack of nether brick, a stack of glowstone, a couple nether wart, 2 stacks of logs, saplings, 2 stacks of that. Ooh, we don't want a half stack. No half stacks. Only full stacks. And this is where all the valuable items are, so we'll take all the lapis, the diamonds, the emeralds, the carrots, the iron. We'll take the name tag, the disc. We'll take a stack of that, because it's a full stack. Take all the eggs. We definitely have to take the eggs. Well, we didn't really lose much by kind of abandoning this base. So, is there anything else? Oh, yes. I nearly forgot. The entire reason we came here. And I do have to say, the sweet berries are just a phenomenal food source. Completely unparalleled in the ease of acquisition. They're phenomenal in every sense of the word. So we will steal this. I don't know if we have... Yeah, we didn't put anything up in the tower as of yet. So we don't have to worry about forgetting anything in the tower. Which is just perfect. So we'll make our way back down the staircase. This is the old design of staircase. I just used half slabs the last time I was here. Oh god, yes, and we'll have to kill some of these cows. Alright. And that should suffice. We will pick that up. Don't again, even inventory management, I just figured we should dispose of some of them. Alright, and we will make sure we replant. I don't know which ones are done, which ones aren't. I'm not familiar with negative wort. Not in the slightest. But I think that should do it. Perfect. Alright. And what will we drop? What don't we really need? Well, we're not going to drop it. We'll put it back in the chest. But we will have to forego. We do need the carrots. And I don't know if we have any potatoes, but we will need to take the potatoes if we do have any. So, because we don't have any at our old base. So we will keep that. I'm thinking we drop the netherrack, or rather put it back in the chest, the netherrack chest. I don't think there's anything up here. No, of course not. So we'll drop that. We'll go grab the beef from these poor souls. And hopefully, I think 13 chicken eggs will be sufficient to start a new chicken farm. I'm thinking we just dump the stone sword. I was using that to farm mobs as it's free to make. I'd rather not use the durability on my iron sword. We did manage to, unfortunately, lose our oh, right, okay. We'll drop that just for a second. We'll replant that. We'll drop that. Drop that. We'll take the flint and steel. The only thing we really need from here is carrots. And okay, they did drop. Okay. Perfect. I was going to say, if I somehow botched that, that would be very frustrating. So now we have a total of 6 carrots, which is, I suppose, better than the 4 we started out with. So we'll take that. We'll leave the cows to live their lives, and we will sleep the night away, and we will get back to our old base. I mean, well, we'll leave our old base and go to our new base right about now. So I'll bring you back a second time when we get back to the new base. Alright, and we're back. We just tossed everything in chests. So I'm thinking, as we are now able to enchant items, and we do have an XP farm. Now, since we are equipped, I'm figuring that we should make an enchanting room. Although we don't really have too much extra space everywhere. We do have a little room back here over by the right past the old bedroom. So we will just make a nice little 3x3 room, throw a couple torches down, and just stick the enchanting table right in here. We might do a little iron gear enchanting just for the hell of it. I would like to. I did get a lot of string from the exploration of the mine shaft, so we may make some fishing rods and get an AFK fishing farm going in the next episode. But we'll leave that for next episode, because that will require me to look up a hell of a lot of stuff, as my my incompetence knows no bounds, as I'm sure all of you who have been sticking through with this kind of acknowledge. So I'm thinking, well, no, we don't want to waste any of the lapis before we have our strip mine up. So what we shall do is I'll just get one of these sticks, get a couple pieces of good old cobblestone, most reliable block in the game, and we'll just go see what's generated in the minute, 2.5 minutes-ish that we've been here, and it seems quite a bit. Makes the most horrible noise, but it does give you a lot of free experience. And we have a ton of arrows and a ton of bones and a ton of bows. So I'm thinking we'll have to make a some of the new blocks. I know you can't repair. I'd like to repair the power 1 unbreaking 1 bow that we got. So I think if we smelt up a little bit of smooth stone, I'll do the full 8 that we get out of a single piece of coal. So I'm thinking, as you can see them just falling down right in the middle of my living room. It's very entertaining. I'm surprised that it doesn't disrupt the bed at all. I've never had an issue with it. I guess maybe it's because it's a spawner. I'm not entirely sure. But so I think if we smelt up a half slab and then get, oops, I did not mean to do that, I promise. And we get a little bit of no. So we'll look through. Grindstone. So we need 2 planks, 2 sticks. Oh, 2 planks, 2 sticks. Alright. Alright, I see. Because this, I'm reasonably sure, is how you combine weapons. I don't really want to put it up here. I'd rather put it downstairs, where we're going to be doing this in the most useful placement possible. Oh, and it looks like the tree farm's functioning. So we'll take that, and we'll take all these terrible quality bows. Oh, and disenchant. Oh. Oh. Oh, I do see. So that's how you balance it. So you cannot repair enchanted bows, I suppose? Is that how that works? It does seem kind of terrible in my opinion. I thought you could always repair enchanted bows just with regular bows. I suppose they changed it. I'm disappointed, to say the least. I was anticipating that we'd be able to just kind of grind out a full conditioned enchanted bow, but it doesn't seem like that's the case at all. Very unfortunate, very heartbreaking. But these are all the rails we got, and 2 mine carts. We got our iron horse armor, 2 saddles, a spruce bow, and a couple oak saplings. I did think we got some spruce saplings, but it seems we left those at the other base, I suppose. I don't remember doing it, but it is done, and there's nothing really we can do about it now. So, well, this is the new base. So what I'm thinking is, the next episode, I'll start a new strip mine. Hopefully we'll have enough carrots and everything else by that point to fill in this row as well. And we'll have the farms fully operational. We have our clock telling us that it's nighttime, so we can reset our spawn point right in here. We'll continue to let the skeletons spawn, get a little bit more XP. But basically, since I completed this base, I've just been adding on to it. Like, I finished the mob spawner, then I decided, okay, well, we have all the stuff at our old little outpost over dug into the side of the canyon. So I'll stick the bed here. I'll reset my spawn. I'll get some chests. I'll get some furnaces. I'll get a crafting table going. I'll just kind of put everything together. And then I was like, okay. Well, then I went down here and I realized that we had almost no wood. Like, very, very little wood at all. So I decided that it would be expedient, or just probably best, is just an easier word to use, to just build a tree farm down here at the bottom of the base, because we have the room. It didn't take very long. I didn't dig out as massive a room as I did in some of my other worlds, but no, it worked out perfectly. I have no complaints whatsoever, but I still can't believe that doesn't work. Anyways, I think maybe you need an anvil. Maybe that's it. I'll have to test. I'm gonna test that right now, actually, because maybe you need to use experience to repair an enchanted weapon, which would make sense. But we have an absolute ton of iron, so I think you need 4, correct? And you go 1, 2, 3, 4. No. No. Huh. How does one craft an anvil? How does one do that? I am quite confused. As usual. Stone cutter. 3 stone. Oh, it's too bad. Anvil, anvil, anvil. Crossbow. I haven't crafted a crossbow yet. We might want to try that. Oh, you need a chest for hoppers. I was trying to craft those earlier. And flailing miserably at it, I might add. Stick. I'm sure I've missed it somewhere. I must have missed it. Bows. How to craft diamonds, yeah. I'm very, very concerned about how I might craft diamonds. Oh, I do apologize. It seems my neighbors or somebody else of that nature are making noise. I do apologize on their behalf. Conduits. Minecart with hopper. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. And there goes the dog. Alright. I'm gonna cut here for a moment. I will bring you back, hopefully, when everything quiets down a little bit. Alright. And we're back. So, everything's quieted down. And now, we have our first enchanted and named weapon. The Gewehr M98. Our enchanted bow. Our faithful rifle. To serve. Or hopefully serve us faithfully. I'll likely lose it in lava within an episode or two, but it's a nice idea. I do like bows. I do like the advantages they have. I would like to make a crossbow. I do believe crossbows are a relatively unsustainable kind of weapon, because you do need I forget. It's like a nearly unfarmable resource. It's not iron. I don't think it's iron. Oh, what do I know? I shouldn't be spouting nonsense. But no, oh, and this thing's already breaking. I never understood that. Never understood why that was a thing. Why well, it seems the tree is despawned and we only got a singular sapling out of it. Quite disappointing. But yeah, I never understood why they added that. I suppose it's so people can't do what I'm trying to do as easily. Like, you need to also have an iron farm if you want to, I don't know, have an infinite amount of repairs, I guess. But it's a very expensive item. Very, very, very expensive. And it doesn't offer all that much. I mean, repairing is fantastic. It allows you to keep your valuable kind of items with little fear for losing them, but it's... I mean, items in Minecraft disappear so quickly that I wouldn't say it's too much of a priority for most people who play the game regularly. I would think that trying to maintain something is just pointless as a singular item. I mean, people get attached to things. That's kind of human nature. I mean, I get attached to things. I'm not exempt from this. Don't think I'm trying to place myself up on a high horse or anything, but people get attached to things and then they kind of refuse to let go of them, and just it turns ugly. It's not something you really want to focus on. It's not something you want to dedicate your entire playthrough to, is just not losing an item. Like, if you need to get rid of it, then get rid of it. But I mean, it's nice to hold on to things that are valuable. Of course, like, I know there's some people, some YouTubers that save their first pickaxe or something absurd like that, and I think it's silly because I've never done anything like that, but I can see why someone would do it. And I'm kind of rambling here. We're not really accomplishing much this episode, on camera at least, because everything has been really finished off camera. So this is kind of our valuable, like, use item chests. This is our valuables, etc. chest, materials. I put the golden apple and the name tags in here. We have our half a stack of mossy cobble that we got from dismantling the spawn room. And other than that, it really doesn't seem like we've been doing all that much today. Or rather, together, we haven't been doing that much together, which I do apologize for, but I logged on today, and I kind of got very, very motivated. I haven't really done this much work in one day in a while in Minecraft. The last time I did it was probably a few days, about a week or two ago, in my practice or test world, whatever you want to call it. I did a large build there, and it didn't end up looking that good, but it was a mob farm. It was an above ground mob farm, not nearly as efficient as this, but no, it came out, it did work. It's based off an old method, kind of an old idea, but it did work, which was nice, but it wasn't all that efficient. And I found a video on YouTube. I do forget who the creator of it was, but I was planning on making that version of a gravity drop mob farm. But as it turns out, we found this, which makes all our lives much easier. We have much less to worry about, which is just fantastic. The tree farm. Oh, not a very nice looking thing. Nothing is very nice looking. I do apologize for that. I'm not Grian. I'm not one of the builder YouTubers. I'm not. This is pure functionality. This entire base is designed around this spawner, which we are quite low in the world. We're only at Y27 right now. At the base level, I think we're at Y10. I think we're at Y10. Yes, we're at Y10. So I'm planning to make the strip mine probably just right off in this direction, just dig up a block and just make a 3x3, just massive, just tunnel straight through all this. But it should be possible, and it should be relatively easy, and I'm sure I'll do that either preceding next episode or during next episode. But yeah, so that's the plan. Those are the future plans. Right now, I'm thinking I'll do a little bit of AFKing with the skeleton spawner. I do wish I could do something with this XP. It's not very useful as I'm not enchanting things. I have heard that I think it was a data pack that said that it provided for a mechanic wherein you could cast spells using experience, and I think that an idea like that, an item that allows you to do that, I don't know if it would require durability. I would think not, because it's ruining your levels, and you can't really get levels outside. Like, you have to kind of sit at an XP grinder in order to get a lot of levels, or you just have to play the game a lot in the traditional way before you get a lot of levels, and you can kind of use something like that. But I think something like that would be a really cool addition to Minecraft, because I think it was a copy of the Evokers staff. The Evokers are an enemy that spawn in woodland mansions, and I believe they now spawn in raids. But it allowed you to do a little, like, a magic spell that shot out like a bunch of teeth that would eat your enemies, and they did a bunch of damage in a nice line. But the item itself didn't have a durability bar, but every time you used it, it would take a certain amount of XP. It wasn't like a level per shot or anything crazy like that, but it was like a numerical value of XP. I think the mod pack had it a little low, because he had, like, he did have, he was in creative, and he gave himself a ton of XP. He had like 100-something levels, but it still felt relatively low. I think, in my opinion, it was kind of too easy for him to just spam this, like, this massive damage wave attack with that item. And I think it would be extremely overpowered in that regard, unless it was like this hardest thing on the planet to get. But once you had it, you'd basically be invincible to everything except your own stupidity, which I would say is everybody's invincible to everything except their own stupidity in their own kind of modem. But I just don't know. I would love to see something like that in the game. They already have channeling with tridents, which where if it's thunderstorming and you have a trident with that ability, you can call down lightning at a specific space, which is super cool. I have to say, I would love to have that as a magic spell with, like, one of these wands, but I think that would have to wait for 1.15 at the very least, at the very earliest, I should say. But I have heard talk by other YouTubers. I cannot remember names. I do apologize. I'm sure none of you are going to come after me for using your words, but I'm not quoting you directly. I'm just kind of going off the general gist of what I've gotten from the 6 or 7 videos I've seen on the topic, is that the general consensus is that the next update to hit Minecraft, this is now update 1.14, and I think the 1.14.1 patch is coming through soon, but 1.15 is projected not to be anything else, not to be any of the other kind of conspiracies, but it is, the community kind of agrees that it is a combat oriented update, and people have, like, mined the like the trailer for Village and Pillage and all this other stuff for just data and information and new things to look at, and etc., etc. And people have kind of went through that, and they found that there's, like, certain, like, items are in the trailer that aren't in the game yet, and all this other stuff that kind of seems intriguing. But I would caution everybody to take all this with a grain of salt. It could just be Mojang's just dumping items into the trailer because, oh, it looks cool. Oh, we want to make sure they're not just looking at the same thing over and over again. Excuse me. I just hit my microphone with my pen. But, so, I do apologize. The footage is relatively boring. I'm kind of just sitting here doing what I've been doing for the past hour or so. We did actually die. For the first time during this construction, we died. We ran back to the base in the middle of the night to try and sleep and then move our bed, but we managed to kind of bite the dust halfway over there, and that was the end of us. So we did die. We have suffered our first fatality over the course of this playthrough, which is unfortunate, I do have to say. I was hoping that we could get through a couple of, like, at least up to episode 10, but we didn't even make it through episode 10 without dying, as we died in the the preparation phase of this episode. So, I mean, it is unfortunate. What are you gonna do? It's Minecraft. It's not the most forgiving game in the world. But we didn't lose any of our stuff, so I can't say I'm disappointed. We just died making the run between the kind of capsule at the top where the staircase is, making that run from there all the way over to the ravine. It's very short run, but we just we didn't make it. We weren't fast enough, and we got hit by I think we were killed by a witch. It it poisoned us. And then we inevitably died of an instant damage potion. So, unfortunate. Nothing really we can do about it. We got a little cobblestone generator here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. But I do really like this. This is probably... I made this completely by accident. But you can't... I mean, if you crouch, you can hurt yourself. But if you don't crouch, if you just walk up to it and kind of left click, or right click rather, you can harvest the berries with complete impunity. And I think this is a really good idea. I don't know, I've never heard, it kind of draws from the stuff I drew from Waddle's video, one of his first video. I think it was actually his first video in his how to play Minecraft series. But go check him out, by the way. I'm pretty sure I said this last episode, but he's fantastic. His content is amazing, and he knows a lot more what he's doing. He's getting along quite a bit faster than I am. I've kind of had a lucky break here with this whole skeleton spawner kind of ordeal, but he's moving a lot faster than I am. So it's unfortunate because I do want to use some of the stuff some of the information that's in his videos. I don't want to copy him because that's cheap. Nobody wants to see the same content like 4 or 5 times over. But I do, some of the, just the basic tips he has is just so useful. So, I would like to draw from that and pass the knowledge on to all of you. Because I'm sure all of you need it. If you're watching this and you're somehow entertained, that must mean either you have the biggest heart out of anybody on the planet, or you're hoping to learn something. This is it is called Let's Play Poorly for a reason, because I'm not all that well versed in the mechanics of anything. That's why my old mob farms were just so garbage. They were so terrible. They just didn't do anything correctly. They barely worked. I had a spawn rate of like 0. I built one in the middle of a cave, and I didn't light up all the caves, so the spawn rate went down, and everything was spawning around the mob spawner. And after a while, we kind of just... there was no reason to use it. It kind of became redundant. But this is foolproof. As long as nothing horrendously bad happens and the thing gets destroyed, then we have nothing to worry about. We are set. Unless we, for some reason, need rotten flesh, I think we'll be okay. But, yeah. So I think we've really lucked out. I think this is fantastic. I would suggest, if you find a skeleton spawner, especially a skeleton spawner, but if you find a mob spawner of any sort, early in the game, or early-ish in the game, when you haven't really established yourself all that fully, it might be worthwhile, and this is just a might, depending on how you plan on playing the game, how you plan on progressing, and how quickly you'd like to move. I would say that it might be worth it to just hunker down near it and kind of commit to farming it, commit to kind of, especially if you're playing like factions or something like that. I think you can just buy spawners in factions. I don't really know how that works, but I would say if you find one of these, this is a gold mine. You can sell the arrows, you can sell enchanted bows, you can sell all that stuff on the through all the plug-in packs and all that kind of stuff. But I would say that this is probably one of the most efficient, most consistent, well, maybe not most efficient. I'm sure like the people, like the real kind of Minecraft geniuses, like the Fassants can really kind of up this kind of game, they would probably find one with like, that's got like 3 skeleton spawners all in like a cluster, and they just crap out skeletons like crazy. But I would say that this is kind of a main attraction thing. This isn't like something I would pass up on. There's no way I would be able to, if I find another skeleton spawner, I already have one, so it's not all that important now because I already have one. But if I never found this, if I managed to somehow overlook this and never came across it and never went down in the mine shaft and all these what ifs, like what if I never found this, then I would say that we would still probably be residing at the old base. I don't think we would have moved, at least in any kind of capacity, any kind of a significant capacity. But God, that is just so incredibly satisfying. But no, I don't think we would have moved. I don't think there would really be enough of a draw. We're not far from the old base, so it's not like we're really losing anything by living here. We're not exactly alienating ourselves from that location. But I think this is... Yes, I did. I was hoping most of that was done. I don't think the carrots are done. I think they have to be a little taller. I wish it was a little easier to tell when things were done, things were ready to be harvested. It's kind of difficult. I have a hard time discerning between what's ready and what's not. So it's a little frustrating for someone like myself who is so inept. But no, I can't complain. I haven't had this good of a run in Minecraft in ages, so I'll count myself lucky regardless of what goes on. Grab a little more experience. Nothing's growing in the tree farm anymore. It does take a little while as it is artificial light. It's not sunlight. Sunlight makes everything grow faster. That's why, especially when you're making a garden underground, that's why this row planting technique is so important. Just because if you don't, none of this probably would have grown yet. And I've already harvested everything except for the carrots, but they got here kind of late. But no, it's very, very difficult to get things to grow underground at an acceptable rate. And unless you're planning to make the biggest, most unbelievably ridiculous automated wheat farm known to man, then I would say that this is definitely the correct way to do it. This is the most efficient, most useful, small-scale underground farm you can build. It's just something very simple. I have water saturating underneath these half cobblestone slabs, which is keeping everything kind of moistened up and irrigated, I guess is a better word rather than moist. But yeah, everything is working very well. I'm very, very satisfied with this base. It doesn't look all that great. We've got random bits of red granite, we've got cobblestone, we've got this strange looking room, we've got ladders all over the place. Our bed is just stuffed in a corner. We got an incomplete enchantment room. But, and this is a big but, everything works. And everything functioning correctly is something I'm not in the slightest, not in any way familiar with. Oh, look at that. That is our best condition bow to date. Wow, that is... Ooh, I didn't want to put that in there. I need my food. But I have been subsisting almost entirely off sweet berries, just because I was using the bread and I was using the other meats. I did bring the rest of the meat I got from my base up here, but no, I was using the meat and all the stuff that I gathered on my journey over here to keep me alive while I was fighting mobs down in the what is it called? The mine shaft. While I was fighting in the mine shaft, I needed those these kind of high food overflow items to keep me like at max hunger and healed up and all that kind of stuff. And it sounds like a a ship breaking apart deep underwater. But no, I was using this quote unquote high quality food stuff. Even the bread I was using for that purpose. But I'm thinking, hold on, we do have enough time here. I am going to make a quick, very quick trip outside to get a little bit of obsidian, because we are going, not that way, we are going to get another portal going. And there is a lava pool, a surface level lava pool, which is another rare thing to behold right next to this little outpost area. This is now our base, so right next to our base. It's right over there, I believe. It's very, very close. Yeah, right there. But we're gonna grab some obsidian while we're here, just for the sake of being able to make another portal. We don't want to destroy all. Ooh, not that. Dig down right into it. But we do want to do this just so we have nether access, as we have a little bit of glowstone, but I did forget to take the what is it called? The soul sand. So we don't have any soul sand, which is unfortunate, as soul sand is necessary to grow the nether wart that we took. But I think we'll be all right. I think we'll survive. What oh, that's the fox. Okay, well, it is nighttime, so we are doing this relatively inefficiently. After all my talk about how everything works and it's all so efficient and ho 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 ho, this is a cube. This is a very ugly cobblestone cube kind of construction, very, very hastily put together. I just had the staircase going down into the depths completely by itself, but I mean, it'll keep mobs out, I suppose. It's very late here. I think it's about 1 o'clock. I have things to do tomorrow, but I just cannot get off Minecraft right now. I'm having far too much fun just accomplishing things. So we'll just run to bed real quick. Very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Come on. Come on, we gotta go fast. We'll just dive down here for a second. We only need to get 7 more pieces. Well, we only need 7 more pieces, I should say. I'm getting a lot more arrows than bones recently. I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't really use bones for anything. The only thing I know they're used for is bone meal. I don't even think there is another use for them beyond that, but we will go out quickly and gather some more obsidian so we can make ourselves another portal. That way we can have another highway. I don't really know how one. I guess preventing zombie pigmen from getting through your portal would require you to build a base in the nether, but I'm pretty sure I did that in my old portal, and I had one come in. Oh no! I apologize. I'm thinking about a different map, a different world entirely. That was my old world, where I made far too many mistakes for it to be anything other than disappointing. But oh god, obsidian. I think I'm gonna also get an additional piece to put behind the cobblestone generator, because we have currently a piece of wood planks there, and I think if the TPS, the ticks per second of the server, kind of drop down enough, we'll actually manage to break the piece of wood that's sitting there, rather than just mining the cobblestone. We're trying to keep that there just as as kind of a barrier to keep us from just digging a nice big tunnel behind it, which I did the first time I used it just to make sure it worked. I dug a large tunnel behind the cobblestone generator. Like 5 blocks long, 1 high. It wasn't very nice looking. Wasn't doing anyone any favors. Wasn't all that attractive. And it also I lost a couple blocks back there because it all just got stuck. But no, we beyond that we did quite well. So I'll just grab one more of these, nice and quick. There's nothing quick about mining obsidian, I do have to say. And we're gonna leave the water there. An empty bucket is fine. We have a couple infinite water sources down at the bottom of the pit. So yeah. Well, I must reminisce about playing this with my friends. Minecraft, while it is a fantastic game no matter how you choose to play it, playing it with friends does bring new light to the game. It kind of makes everything is new. Everything works differently. Items. You can combine all these different kinds of combat styles, all these kinds of building. Everybody can do their own thing. Everybody who's good at one particular thing can kind of specialize in that one particular thing. So yes, we will stick a piece of obsidian there. Beautiful. Throw that there. And I don't know where we would... I think maybe we should put it all the way at the bottom. Just to get it away. These things make horrendous amounts of noise. They're just terrible if you leave them on. And I'm planning not to really do anything with this one other than set it up and leave it there. So I'm thinking we'll dig out a little ways. Dig a nice little hallway. Just because I don't feel like dealing with this thing screaming at me 24/7. So we'll dig it out. Just make a little hole. Make a nice little homey area. I think we have to make a 2x2 entrance. Because this is a 2-wide portal design. As we are trying not to use that much obsidian. I would like it centered, to say the least. Dig this side out once. Oh, thank God we have another pick. I came prepared. I don't want to use durability for my diamond pick if I can help it. I mean, I do have 10 extra diamonds, but I'm by no means rich enough to be kind of, oh yeah, I'll just use my diamond pick until it breaks, and then I'll forget about it. It doesn't matter. No, we're still a little bit poor. We haven't kind of hit the, we haven't hit the mother lode. We haven't gone strip mining for 4 days straight and just dug up every little bit of a valuable resource that we come across. So we are still lacking. Not terribly, but we are not rich by any means. So we'll fill this in. Not gonna look the nicest, but whatever. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2. Very carefully. Oh, I knew it. We couldn't get through it. We couldn't do it perfectly. We couldn't just place the blocks. So we will break this. Perfect. And there's our nether portal. And we will just stick some torches in the corner there. And that'll be our nether portal. Perfect. We're not going to light it yet. We have no reason to go back to the nether quite yet. We have our little workstation here. All these bows. This thing's almost perfect. This is the one we repaired. We have all these, which are in decent condition. We have a ton of arrows. So I'm thinking from now on, I don't think we're going to carry the enchanted bow, but I think we will carry this bow that we have repaired and a stack of arrows. I'm thinking that would be expedient. That would be worthwhile at the very least. So we'll put you there, just a little bit of management here. We want to keep everything together, keep everything kind of convalescent rather than convoluted. We'll throw the cobblestone away. Not away, but we'll put it away. We have 3 empty buckets and a lava bucket, so we're not wasting a lot of space here. I do like that. Oop, that's wrong chest. Alright, and we will throw the pickaxe back before we end up losing it. So we have our bow. We have all our extra stuff. So I would say it's nearly about time to say goodnight, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly about. We're gonna hang out here for a little bit. Just kind of grab these berries. Beautiful. We're gonna eat a little bit. Just because we can. We have as much food as we could ever need. And this is 5 berry bushes. 5. Count them 5. And I'm able to maintain myself very easily. I mean, I'm not really going out and fighting anything, which is not... This food is horrendously inefficient for healing. But in terms of just maintaining your hunger bar, this is great. It's very, very easy. Very easy, like, very quick to regenerate. I think, like, if you watch, I think it's FitMC is his YouTube name. Fantastic YouTuber. Fantastic PvPer, as far as I understand. I'm not well versed in PvP whatsoever, but he does a series about 2B2T, which is, as he calls it, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, or whatever you want to call it. But and they say that melons are like the best kind of food that you can get. They're the easiest. They feed players the best. They're kind of the best for new players, I think, is the consensus on that server, at least. And I'm inclined to agree, but these, just because of how easy they are and how simple, no tilling soil, no spacing, just sit them down and you'll get a ton of food in a very short period of time. 5 plants, count them 5 plants, and I am making a profit here. I am making a hefty profit by not. All I'm doing is I'm farming up food, I'm farming up XP as well as arrows and bows and bones. I know what time it is. This is absolutely vital. If you don't have any way to tell what time of day it is, get a clock, please. For the love of God. I mean, that's common sense. In real life, the way I said that was kind of redundant, but no, if you build a base underground, get a clock and stick it in a central location inside of an item frame. Very, very useful. Very, very helpful. But, no, yeah. I would say that just because of the ease of using sweet berries and how simple it is to get them and get a lot of them and plant them, I would say these are really good just for keeping you alive. I don't know, I wouldn't use them in combat by any means, but, I'm getting all this XP. Wunderbar. Wunderbar. And we have plenty more. We have still have another 2 stacks of arrows. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. We have so many bows. And this is, again, this is not really efficient in terms of getting drops from mobs, but it is very efficient in terms of getting XP. Because we already have 34 levels. When I finished constructing the mob farm itself, I hadn't turned it on. I hadn't, like, removed any of the torches yet. I just finished making it when I died. And when I died, I had 30 levels. When I regained my XP, after I respawned and ran back over there, I ended up having 10 levels total. And from then until now, which I would say is about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, if we're really being generous, and I have all the way up to 34 levels, and I have dumped a couple levels into repairing and naming the Gewehr M98, and yeah, I dumped a couple levels into that, and I really haven't, nothing's really happened. Like, other than that, nothing's happened, but I am all the way up at level 34. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's not the most efficient way, but this is the most efficient way I'm able to do it without kind of stealing someone else's design, and I really wanted to do something nice and simple. Like, this is the kind of mob farm I've always known how to make. Like, since day one. Like, when I first found my first zombie spawner, this is probably almost exactly the same thing I built, except I made the drop a little bit farther, so, they would just die on impact, and I would just get their items. There was no XP back when I started playing. That's a new convoluted thing that these young whippersnappers kind of came up with. Gamer XP, all this crapola. But no, there was no XP. So I built basically the same thing. I don't know what the level. I don't know what the level of detail was. I think the like this level room, instead of being down here a little ways below, was I think it was like right next. It was like right outside the actual spawner, and I had like a glass window, and I sat there, and the torchlight kind of went through the window, and it saturated half the area, so things wouldn't spawn, and it was very, very poorly made. I lost that world when my old computer broke. I lost that, which was very sad. That was my first Minecraft world. Very, very bad world. But, oh, no. This is basically the same thing. It's about as easy as they come. I'm just gonna do, before I truly say goodbye for tonight, I will give you all just a little look-see. As you can see, there's just made a little hole. There's actually a 3-wide hole. I put signs on it, and there's some signs in the bottom just to make sure nothing's there. It filters down into one hole in the center, and then they all just drop down. And I put that up there just to oh, there is a torch in here. Oh my. Okay. Oh god, you bastards. Okay, well, we have to break that torch. Okay, perfect. We have to get out of here now without dying, hopefully. You can drop that! Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm an absolute scaredy cat. Oh god. I apologize again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very, very afraid of these things. But hopefully that'll help the spawn rates. I completely did not even know, and this thing was working fantastically. But speak of the devil, you don't know too much. But from the bottom area that those things come down, they fall 21 blocks total. And 21 is the level that, with like a stone sword, I think if you really wanted to, you could probably punch them, and they would die after a hit or two. But it's just more efficient to use the sweeping motion of the sword. Oh, and it looks like we got ourselves a golden helmet. We'll put that in there. Why the heck not? Oof, that's right in the middle between being good and decent. I'm gonna put that over there. But yeah, it's well, now it should be functioning at peak. It should be at peak performance. We should be getting all of the spawns, all the drops, all the XP. We're all the way up to level 35 in only a couple minutes. We're doing very well here. A couple more berries. But yeah, ooh, this one already respawned. Perfect. But yeah, no, everything's going quite well here. I don't know about you, but the next time you start up a new Minecraft Survivor world, I would try to find a spawner, and I would try to make yourself a little XP farm. Because, you know, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier if you have fully enchanted gear and all the levels you could ever need, and you don't have to worry about going out into the wild to grind XP. You just go out and you do it. It's not a difficult thing anymore. Like, if we lived at the old base without having found this, and I needed to get XP to enchant my gear, because inevitably, probably towards the end of this series, we'll be fighting the Ender Dragon, and we'll probably be fighting a Wither at some point, which I've never done. I fought the Ender Dragon once, and I killed it once. I didn't fight it once. I died several times, but I ended up killing it once. That whole fight was one. I'm counting it as one. But I've only fought it once. I haven't fought it since. So, well, we'll have to do that. I'll have to be doing that a second time. And the last time I did that was, I think it was, oh god, that was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Ages. Absolute ages ago. But now now we have all the time in the world. We have all the experience we can need. We're going to have full level 30 enchanted diamond armor, fully enchanted sword, fully enchanted bow, maybe even a crossbow. But no, I think if we get a crossbow, what we'll have to do is just get mending. We'll have to get mending for it. That way we can use we can get infinite arrows from this spawner, but we will not be able to repair crossbows with other crossbows, as we can't get crossbows from skeleton drops. So we will have to farm XP with mending on the old crossbow, just to keep it in good condition. But that shouldn't be a problem because, again, we do have an XP farm. But in order to get mending, we will have to make the other, probably the most overpowered AFK farm you can make in Minecraft to date, the good old AFK fishing farm, which is still ridiculous and still broken, if you were wondering. But we will have to make one of those just to get mending books. And so, I mean, I can leave my computer running overnight and get maybe a mending book, maybe get a couple of other super valuable items, a couple more fishing rods, a couple, like, whatever, just more enchantments, just good stuff that's very valuable. And it doesn't take up a lot of room. It doesn't take a lot of time to make, but I don't know exactly how to make it. So I'm going to have to build it off camera, because I'm going to have to copy someone's video, and I will link their video in the description, probably of next episode when we complete that. So next episode, I don't know, should I write this down? I don't know. I'm not going to write it down right now because we're about to do the outro. But next episode, we will be making an AFK fishing farm, and we will be making our strip mine. And I'll probably do a couple hours worth of strip mining off camera, and I'll kind of tally up what we got. I mean, the first couple pilot episodes of this series, I did mining on camera, which is something the only people I've seen do it to any successful margin are streamers, and I am not a streamer by any stretch of the imagination. So, I mean, I might start streaming, but I don't think I'll ever get any viewers. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing. I do understand that my Risk of Rain videos are getting a lot more views than my Minecraft videos, but I have a lot of fun playing Minecraft. It's just something I do to unwind. Risk of Rain requires a lot of preparation, and I have to really I have to do research and kind of learn how items work and stuff like that. Minecraft, I kind of just go with the flow. It's a lot easier. It's a lot less setup time. It's simpler. It's not a simple game by any means. It's not even simpler than Risk of Rain. I would say Minecraft is far more complicated when you get down to it, but it's simpler to get into. It's easier to understand, and the very basic tenets of Minecraft are very, very digestible compared to all the kind of item combos and character ability things in Risk of Rain 2, which are, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Risk of Rain 2, and I will be making, I have one more episode of the class guides, and then I'm planning to do a little bit of just kind of highlight reels. I also wanted to play with one of my friends on Risk of Rain, just because he and I exchanged codes. I bought the game, and I gave him the extra copy so we could play together. I mean, he gave me a little bit of money for it, of course. I'm not a charity. I'm not a charity. You know, I don't just buy my friends' games so they have to play with me. No, but he is the only person I've played with. Traditionally, I've played with some people, like some randoms online, through the kind of the queue. But oh my, all this XP. We're getting a lot of nice bows. Very, very nice. But we are starting to run out of space here. Mainly because of all these bows. I'm thinking we just take all of these and kind of put them together into as many full health bows as we can. Oh, not that one. So we get a couple good quality bows out of that. We got one maximum quality bow. And I think we'll just do the same with the rest of these. I don't really see why not. These are fine. Those I don't feel the need to waste another enchantment level on them. So we get a couple perfect quality bows, a bunch of very high quality bows, and one decent quality bow. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to be doing from now on. We're going to just get a ton of bows. We're going to have a ton of regular, unenchanted, full durability bows. And I mean, if we really need furnace fuel... No, I'm just kidding. But, I mean, maybe. I don't know. There's not really much we can do with them other than stockpile them. And I don't really feel the need to have a couple double chests worth of bows. I think that might be a waste. It might. Just, I don't know. I'm not sure. But, so, here's the recap for the episode. We finished our mob XP grinder. We made a new base. We evacuated all of our valuables from our old base to this new base. We have grinded out XP. We have suffered our first death at the hands of the unforgiving environment of Minecraft. And for our future plans, next episode, we're planning on completing this base by adding a strip mine on the bottom level and making an AFK fish farm, likely off camera, as I'll have to be referencing the YouTube video for it in order to construct it. But we will be making one of those, and I'll likely be doing a lot of, from now on, episode uploads might slow down a little bit as the off-camera grinding is going to increase a millionfold with these, between this and the AFK fishing farm. It will be very likely that we are going to just kind of, we're just kind of suffer through, and I'm gonna probably just be AFKing or watching or reading or something, and then kind of doing laps, killing skeletons, getting XP, enchanting gear, etc., etc., until eventually either we run out of lapis lazuli, which I'm probably going to be also off-camera mining, but there's going to be a lot more preparation going into these episodes as progress. Now that we've kind of made it, I would say we've made it. We've kind of done what we came here to do. We have sustainable food. We have infinite arrows. We have more food, I guess. Cobblestone generator. We got wheat, carrots, sugarcane. We've made it to a point where we don't need to set up a new base anymore. It's not necessary to go looking for a new base. What we really need to focus on now, I suppose, is kind of just getting that super high level. Is kind of getting to that. Wow, that's a hell of a lot of experience. But anyways, wow, that's a lot of arrows. Wow, that's a lot of bones. So but yeah, so that's really where I feel we're at kind of at the moment. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. You guys are kind of the dictators of what happens when and where and why. It's unfortunate I'm not getting a lot of suggestions at the moment, but that's kind of how it goes for a small YouTube channel with, I mean, relatively unoriginal content. I'm just playing Minecraft. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing all that revolutionary. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. If you come up with any cool ideas for builds or anything of that nature, then I would absolutely love to hear it. So yeah, just let me know. Just let me know. So we got a little staircase running up here. We can make another one right here. We are destroying all of our lighting now, which is unfortunate. So we'll have to replace that. And put one right there. Alright. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the Irish Kaiser. And, well, it is daytime. I was hoping that this would be nighttime. But it is nighttime out here, outside the computer screen, outside of Minecraft. It is nighttime here, so I have been the Irish Kaiser, ladies and gentlemen, and I will bid you all a good night.